Dobar vam večer svima. I svima vama koji mislite da niste u emisiji, jeste, u emisiji ste, samo što Nora ovaj put nije pustila glazbu, jer smo mi ovdje brbljali, ima nas malo više večeras kad smo pričali, a kad se pusti glazba mi ne možemo isto tako razgovarati. Dakle, dobrodošli, naš današnji gost, evo ga po 4. put, to mi je zapravo gost koji je najčešće bio u emisiji. David Elliottom, sasvim zasluženo. Davide, dobra večer, dobrodošao. David, welcome and hello.
Glad to be here. Nora, everybody.
Morat ćemo svi govoriti malo glasnije, mislim da ja ne čujem baš najglasnije, najbolje. Evo, predstavila bi i još dvoje naših večerašnjih sudionika. To su Evica koja će prevoditi i Borut kojeg već poznam. Evo ga, odlično. Molit ću evo samo jedan put i Davida i Evicu i Boruta da malo glasnije govore, da bi se čuli. Ova emisija je napravljena s obzirom da David dolazi za jedno 3 tjedna u Hrvatsku, u Zagreb. Pa evo, za vas koji nećete možda imati priliku da budete na radionici, ali naravno za sve vas koji ćete možda imati priliku da budete na radionici, mislim da će biti zanimljivo da sa Davidom još prođemo neke teme, a i da možda otvorimo neke nove. Pa evo, ja bi sada za početak pitala Davida, s obzirom da smo malo pričamo o bezuvjetnoj ljubavi u posljednje vrijeme. Što on misli o bezuvjetnoj ljubavi? Da li je ona uopće moguća? Gdje nalazi tu bezuvjetnu ljubav? Da li izvan nas, da li unutar nas? I još najvažniji dio, kako voljeti sebe. Evica nam je ispala. Nora, brzo stavi Boruta, Borut će prevoditi. Odnosno, neka David kaže.
Da, pokušat ću ja prevoditi jer smo izgubili prevodilaca. Prvo pitanje za Davida je da kaže malo više šta je to ljubav, kako bezuvjetna ljubav, da. Okay, so David, first question for you is, what is unconditional love? Can you elaborate something about that and tell us your experiences with it?
All right. Well, unconditional love, I mean, a phrase I like to use even more is self-love, and I think it's one of the starting points, which is very encompassing in unconditional love. But when I talk about self-love, it's learning how to be in the frequency of love all the time, learning how to not be changing your emotional state based on everything you're around. If you're able to do that and you feel a constant flow of love, then it's very easy to have unconditional love with the outside world, with everything else. So the key for me with talking about unconditional love is understanding the importance of self-love. To me, that's the key. When you've got that connection, then it's easy to love and be flowing love to all things and all people. So.
Ljubav, bezuvjetna ljubav u stvari je ljubav do sebe. I najvažnije je da kad se vibracije menjaju, idu gore i dole, da znamo pronaći i ostvariti tu ljubav do sebe, bilo šta se dešava oko nas. Tako da to je neki, to je ono što je najbitnije kod bezuvjetne ljubavi, da osjećaš da ostaješ u ljubavi do sebe.
Is there another question?
Toliko puno za pričati o ljubavi, neće se David tako lako izvući. Ok, super. Dakle, Borut je preveo samo dio pitanja o bezuvjetnoj ljubavi, ali da vas podsjetim, David čita misli. Dakle, David je odmah se prebacio na ljubav prema sebi. Pazite što mislite, pazite što pišete. Dakle, mene se da zanima, ok, voljeti sebe, self-love, jasno mi je u teoriji, ali gdje je to self? Kako pronaći to self? Malo praktičnije, vola biste nekakav praktični dio, upute. Napravi 1, 2, 3, 4 koraka. Evica?
Yes, Carmen says that you can read other people's thoughts, and she wants to know more about how to love yourself. Where is the self? And if you can give some practical advices how to find self-love, step by step.
Step by step, okay. Well, so you guys now have access to my healing book, or it's coming soon in Croatian in particular, translated. And in there, I give you step-by-step examples, exercises. The most simple diagram that I work with is if you're connected to the heart, and then energy will flow from the heart, and it'll connect you to everything, especially nature, but to people too. It'll connect you in a very unconditional way. If you're connecting to people and things more from the belly, the second chakra, then it will be much more of an emotional place of a lot of times the unconscious connecting, going slow so Evitsa can take notes. And that's where it becomes really unpredictable and unconscious. So a lot of the examples and the teaching in the healing book is understanding how to feel and connect to love through yourself, which is what I call self-love. It's also, self-love is very universal. It's flowing through us in a big circle or an infinity symbol. It's, you know, it's all flowing through us. So hopefully I at least got part of the question answered.
Okay. Znači on je ovdje stavio naglasak na knjigu Iscjeljivanje koja je prevedena na hrvatski i uskoro će biti objavljena i u toj knjizi su korak po korak dane vježbe i on se nadovezuje na dijagram da se treba povezati na srce. Znači kada smo povezani na srce, energija će se povezati na ljude i na prirodu i ako se povezuješ sa ljudima iz stomaka, znači iz druge čakre, onda je to više naglasak na emocijama, na nesvjesnom i povezivanje je nepredvidivo. U knjizi Iscjeljivanje, znači korak po korak je objašnjeno kako osjetiti ljubav kroz sebe i ljubav je nešto univerzalno, znači što teče kroz nas. Također jedan beskonačni krug. I nada se da je s tim bar dio objasnio dio o ljubavi.
So, and in that first part you said about the thoughts. So the key is when you learn to be in a flow of love, then you have access to your intuition and a lot of help through, you know, the universe, whether you have guides, whether, you know, you refer to spirit, you know, so in that place of being pretty neutral, that's where the intuition comes in, and that's what I've learned over the years is what allows me to not even try, but it just happens where I'm suddenly experiencing, you know, whether it's a person's thoughts or deeper feelings or places where they're holding back, holding something that's not love, holding pain. So that's how I teach people to access their intuition, by learning how to be in that more neutral place of love inside themselves, and then that creates the access to information about others or whatever things. So hopefully that's getting better with the answer.
Ok, on je, znači, što se tiče misli, odnosno onoga što smo rekli da čita misli, znači ključ je da se bude u tijeku ljubavi, u toku ljubavi, i onda je akcent na intuiciji i tu svemir nam pruža pomoć, znači, odnosno duh. Kad, znači, događa se u tim trenucima da je intuicija vrlo jaka i da on iskusi misli ljudi i dublje osjeća mjesta gdje ljudi ne drže ljubav, već bol. I on uči ljude kako da budu u mjestu ljubavi i na taj način ostvare, znači, pristup tim informacijama, odnosno intuiciji koja se u tim trenucima otvara.
Praktično pitanje, što bi drugo ja mogla. Kako ja znam, mislim, kako se ja mogu s ljudima povezivati srca ili stomka? Pretpostavljam da je to možda objašnjeno, da će on to objašnjavati u knjizi, ali može li nam reći? Ja stvarno nemam pojma. Samo mogu znati ako me nekad žigne nešto u srcu ili u stomku, ali mislim da nije mislio na to. Kako se povezivati?
Carmen asks how to connect with the people from the heart. She says she doesn't understand that sometimes she feels in her heart somebody, but she thinks that you don't think about that, that you don't refer.
Okay. Well, as long as you're thinking, you're not going to be in the heart. So the heart is a feeling. It is a feeling place. For me, when I'm connecting to the heart, it activates my whole energy system. So I'll feel vibrations through my hands because the hands are on the same meridian as the heart. So my hands will start tingling. You know, my nervous system in general will start to vibrate. The more I'm receiving this, you know, spirit or guidance or information from the heart, I'll feel it through my whole being, and I may not need to think at all. A lot of times I won't really think. So then things will start to happen. I'll start to hear something about the person. My heart may even start to spin or tingle. I may start to see energy or see something too. So my intuition places, vision, hearing, speaking, and knowing in the heart, all of those will kick in, the heart kind of being the master place of connection.
Evo, može ovako, znači, on kaže da je kroz srce on osjeća. Za njega kad se povezuje sa srcem, aktivira se cijeli energetski sistem u njegovom tijelu. On osjeća, prvo počne osjećati energiju kroz ruke kako vibrira i što znači više se duh pojavljuje, on sve više osjeća kroz srce i kroz cijelo tijelo tu energiju, te vibracije. Stvari se događaju, on onda čuje o ljudima, znači čuje neke informacije o ljudima, srce mu počinje nekad vibrirati, treperiti, vidi energiju, mjesta, čuje znači neke informacije i kaže da je srce u stvari master mjesto tih događanja. Kako se prevodi master? Glavno mjesto je.
Da li ovo disanje koje David radi i koje zapravo svatko od nas može raditi, ako niste previše ljeni kao neki, da li to disanje koje David radi i podučava može zapravo pomoći tome da se mi spojimo na naše srce i u cijelim tim nekakvim procesima o kojima on govori?
She asked about the breathing that we are working with you. Can this breathing help that we connect with our heart?
I mean, if you look almost at every tradition, breathing, hey, everybody breathes to start with. And breathing, I find, is a direct path, not just to the heart, but to the universe, to the spirit. The breath as a primary tool is the thing I've found is the best at neutralizing the brain and getting people to stop thinking so much and get them out of their head. So, the breath, I've been doing this work for 25 years, and I've tried and worked with lots of different things, but I've never found anything as effective as the breath in bringing a person into stillness and a connection with their energy. So to me, the breath is really important.
Da, kaže da se znači u svakoj tradiciji može naći povezano sa nekim vježbama disanja. Kaže on prvo da kažemo svi dišu. To je direktan put srcu, ne samo srcu već univerzumu, duhu i primarni alat najbolje neutralizira mozak, znači da misli izađu iz mozga. I kaže da on to radi već 25 godina i da je radio puno raznih stvari sa ljudima, ali da je disanje najefikasnije da ljudi uđu u stanje mira i da se povežu s energijom, odnosno da povežu srce sa energijom.
Ovo mi je super, to isključivanje misli i svega. Znate, 40 godina se učite kako trebate misliti i razmišljati i onda tako nekim već godinama, zrelima, neko vam kaže sad nema više razmišljanja. Evice, ne moraš ćevo sve prevoditi, to ja čatkam ovako sa ljudima, iznosim svoje dileme i tako dalje. Sad, moje pitanje bi bilo za Davida, da malo čisto opet praktično vidimo. Ako razgovaramo o djeci i toj djeci nastojimo potaknuti inteligenciju, potaknuti razmišljanje i tako dalje, kako djeci objasniti, vidi, postoji kad moraš misliti i onda postoji vrijeme kad zapravo to razmišljanje nije dobro. Kako malo pomiriti te dvije stvari koje su uključiti i isključiti mozak. To teško je. nismo na dugmiću.
I didn't hear everything, but the question was when you are dealing with kids, and how do you explain your kid how to stop thinking and start thinking again, how to go from the head to the heart? Is that what you're talking about?
I guess that was it. Well, when we get to be adults, a lot of times we lose the kid. So, come on. Most kids don't really need that much healing because they aren't stuck in their head. So, I mean, there are ages. I find about age 10 is a place where there's good comprehension for spiritual work, or the breathing even. And it only takes a few minutes, like 2 or 3 minutes, a child, because they're very open to experience, they'll start to feel energy very rapidly. Much faster than adults. So, again, if we were more childlike in some ways, children can have a more open heart than adults. So that's a little bit of a trick question, Carmen.
Da, ja se ispričam, nisam čula cijelo opet, ali mi je malo, smo ispali iz veze. Čula sam samo ovo, ako mi Borut bude mogao pomoći, onda što je bilo naprijed. Nešto je govorio o odrastanju i rekao je u dobi od 10 godina da je dobro hvatanje duhovnog rada, da su djeca vrlo otvorena, osjećaju energiju jako brzo, više nego odrasli, i da im je srce otvorenije nego u odraslih ljudi. Ovo ostalo nisam čula.
Da, to sam ja čuo. Mislim da nismo mnogo propustili.
Dobro, ok. Evo, ja se ispričavam svojim sinovima za sve ono kad sam im govorila. Uključi mozak, misli i sve ostale lijepe uzreke koje smo dobili od svojih roditelja i tako nastavili prenositi dalje. Evo ga, nas ovdje ima dosta. Zaista nas ima dosta koji se bavimo sa Ho'oponoponom. I s obzirom da je osnova tehnike Ho'oponopono preuzimanje vlastite odgovornosti, osobne odgovornosti, 100%. Evo, zanima me još da nam David kaže, znam da je on upoznat sa Ho'oponoponom, znači da nam kaže da li po njegovom mišljenju i njegovo disanje pomaže da mi što prije i lakše dođemo do nule.
Da dođemo do čega? Yes, Carmen asks, does your breathing helps us to easier to come to the stillness, to peace?
Maybe there's another.
I can try, okay. Sad se molim vas nemojte smijati mom engleskom, indijanskom, ali ja ću pokušati objasniti što sam htjela reći. David, a lot of us here practice Ho'oponopono. So one of the basic things of Ho'oponopono is taking 100% responsibility, to get clean of memories of all those, stuff and things. So does your breathing help us to get faster, sooner to zero?
Absolutely, I would say yes. I mean, I work with pretty much all traditions, religions, philosophies, and a lot of teachers and priests and ministers and practitioners and doctors. And so the pretty universal response is that the breath, because it's so direct, it takes people into an accelerated experience with the work they've already been doing. So it's very complementary with all the various philosophies out there. And honestly, many, as I started off, many philosophies do incorporate variations of the breath, very, different exercises, in their philosophy. I like one that I teach through the mouth because it brings up, it's a little more work, but it brings up deeper stuff and definitely helps to get a person very quickly to a still place where they're experiencing deeper relationships and maybe understandings of their emotion, of their lineage, of places they've been stuck or people they're holding inside. So the answer is yes.
Da kaže David, znači da je radio i radi s različitim tradicijama, religijama, svećenicima, doktorima, ministrantima i i da dah znači nas dovodi u direktnu vezu sa ljubavi i dovodi i druge ljude u direktnu vezu sa onim što rade. Znači ako rade na nekoj drugoj duhovnoj disciplini, dovodi ih u direktnu vezu i kaže da mnoge filozofije znači imaju inkomponirane razne vježbe disanja u svoje učenja i da on voli ovo disanje koje trenutno radi jer ono dovodi znači dovodi do dubljih stvari i ljudi dublje iskuse veze, emocije, znači razumiju više emocije, onda također povezano sa linijom predaka.
Tako, a da bude bolja, prije emisije dok smo ja i David čavrljali, pitam ja Davida može li mi on ovako sa spiritualne strane objasniti. U zadnje vrijeme, zadnjih ne znam, mjesec ili dva, tako imam probleme, stranica nam pada, ne možemo ući. 100 stvari nekakvih, i evo ga, ovo je došlo kao potvrda cijele te priče. No uglavnom, ono što sam htjela reći da mi je super što je David ispričao sve ovo, vezano je uz Ho'oponopono, jer me dosta ljudi baš pitalo kako Ho'oponopono ide sa disanjem. Mislim, bez disanja ne možemo, onda kad već dišemo, zašto ne disati pravilno i zašto ne disati dobro. Evo sad je David spomenuo još nešto, to su preci. Pa me evo samo ako može vrlo kratko, vi se ne morate sve ovo to ja pričam sama sa sobom, znači samo da pita ako može malo objasniti sa precima koju ulogu u našem životu imaju naši preci.
Možeš li molim te ponoviti, nisam razumjela sve, što sa precima?
Da, zanima me sa njegovog stanovišta i njegovog iskustva, koju ulogu u našem životu imaju naši preci.
Yes, Carmen asks what role in our life have our ancestors.
Well, okay. There's an old saying in Kentucky, where I'm from, that the nut doesn't fall far from the tree. The walnut or the hickory nut or the apple. So imprints that we come in with, and mostly beliefs about love, whether it's safe to love, whether you should not love, whether you should protect your heart, whether you can really trust love. There's a lot of that absolutely gets passed down, even if it's just from the parents, but then their parents and their parents and their parents. So, you know, our ancestors, or even us, if we've been through war or been through big loss or been through a depression with the economy, you know, all of these things will end up filtering down. And that's some of the more obvious stuff. To me, the unconscious about is it safe to love? Do I have a right to be here? You know, is it safe for me to show up and be seen and heard for who I am? I find that can travel down through the lineage for many, many, many generations. So it's a big answer. There's a lot to it. I could go on talking about this for a long time.
On kaže da stara izreka u Kentakiju, odakle dolazi, kaže da jabuka ili bilo koja druga voćka ne pada daleko od stabla.
Da, to ste čuli. I najviše što se prenosi iz generacije na generaciju je to da li je varno da ljubiš. Da? Znači, i da li se osjećaš bezbedan gdje god si. To se prenosi, svi strahovi od rata, od financijske opasnosti, sve takve stvari prenose se najviše iz generacije na generaciju. Tako da to je to što je utjecaj pređaka na nas, gdje je najviši.
Da li je možda to prenošenje tih uvjerenja i programa, da li možda to može biti razlog zašto, evo, ovdje kod nas na ovim područjima, svakih, ne znam, 40 godina je nekakav rat, to je nažalost, ali to je tako. Da li to možda ima veze? I ujedno možemo ga pitati, s obzirom da dolazi ovamo, da li možda on osjeća da ovdje nama treba malo više možda čišćenja nego u nekim drugim krajevima svijeta?
Okay, David, so now the question is a continuation of the previous one. So maybe you can feel, now that you are coming here to our geographical area, that you can feel what is it that our ancestors left us in terms of those emotions or fears or anything that can be passed down from generation to generation. So is there anything specific for our area that you're coming to?
Well, it definitely, there's a feeling that I'm starting to pick up that I don't believe is mine, about some old sadness that's not cleared. I have many people that know I'm going to you guys part of the world have the general comment that people say to me is, oh, it's really good you're going. That land, that area needs healing, and there's been so much, I guess, turmoil there that it's really, hopefully, you know, could be something you can do some good there. So, like I say, I do have a feeling that there's a lot of energy in the lower chakras that can move where there's some pain held, and specifically some ancient or old grief, you know, which would have layers of some anxiety So that's why I picked a topic that we would work on physical and emotional healing in particular, just as a general theme. And then I also said, bring whatever you need to work on. We'll work on everything, but specifically, I'm having a feeling that I may need to help people, some with their bodies and where they're holding stuff that's not just theirs, you know, stuff that they've inherited and brought through and are holding in their body. So that would be a starting point of an answer.
Okay, so David says, David kaže da on dobije osjećaj koji najvjerovatnije nije njegov, da ima ovdje mnogo stare žalosti, se kaže, što nije još čista, što nije očišćena. I jedan generalni komentar koji dobija od ljudi koji čuju da on dolazi ovdje je da oni misle da ta zemlja, ovo područje stvarno treba cijeljenje, isciljivanje. Da ima ovdje mnogo patnje i da se svi nadaju da možda David može nešto pomoći kod isciljivanja toga. I on specifično kaže da ima mnogih energija u nižim čakrama gdje se hrani stara patnja, gdje ima plasti straha. Tako da je zbog toga on izabrao specifičnu temu da radi i na fizičkom i na emocionalnom isciljivanju. A uz to i sve drugo što će doći u samom radu. I tako da najviše će pokušati pomoći ljudima što u svojim tijelima zadržuju neke stare stvari koje su možda dobili od svojih pređaka i drže ih u svom tijelu.
Mene bi zanimalo, Evice, pitaj ga malo o konkretnim rezultatima koje ima sa ljudima sa kojima radi. Gdje pomaže? Rezultati?
I think I didn't hear well, but Carmen wants to know about results, your work with the people. Is it okay?
Evo, ja ću ponovo na svom, rekao je Ivica, indijanskom engleskom. David, can you tell us, you're working so many years healing with people. Can you tell us some results that you saw with people that you work with?
Well, I never like to toot my own horn, but to me, it's my job to teach people how to heal, and it's their job to do the work around it. You know, but I've seen and had results with people becoming happy, becoming free from a lot of the baggage that they carry. You know, there's certainly been lots of physical healings around, you know, pains in the body. It's always tricky to start talking about disease such as cancer and different things, but there's certainly been people that have had, you know, some good healings in all areas. I consider myself to be a bit of a specialist around emotions, helping people get in touch and clearing emotions, whether that be depression or anger or sadness. In particular, I help people find their and hear and understand purpose So that may be, you know, something that they're here to do that they're not doing, ways that they can open up and express themselves. A lot of artists are drawn to me and have been from the beginning. Writers and painters and dancers and singers, they keep coming, movie makers, and so I have a real love for expression and art, and you know, one of the shortcuts that I teach is gratitude, so that if we give enough gratitude, many stuck acidic conditions in the body just start to melt, you know, and gratitude is a form of love. So, you know, in my books, I do give quite a few examples and situations where people talk about, you know, or describe, you know, anecdotes and things that have happened with people. So.
Kaže on da ono nije sad njegovo da se hvali, znači njegov posao je da radi na iscjeljivanju, a također ljudi s kojima radi moraju da odrade svoj posao. Rezultati su da ljudi postaju sretni, slobodni, znači od tereta koji nose sa sobom. Dešavaju se i fizička izlječenja, ljudi se rješavaju boli, pa je spomenuo bolesti kao rak i da je bilo ljudi koji su se iscijelili, znači od raznih stanja. On kaže za sebe da je specijalist za emocije, za čišćenje emocija kao što su depresija, ljutnja, tuga, i pomaže ljudima da nađu svoju svrhu. Znači da čuju, da saznaju koja je njihova svrha, nešto za što su u stvari rođeni, a ne rade, kako da se otvore. Kaže da njemu dolazi puno, radi se puno umjetnika, pisaca, plesača, pjevača, slikara, i da on također ima ljubav za umjetnost, i kaže da je prečica, znači do iscjeljivanja je zahvalnost i da ona mnoga stanja topi, znači zahvalnost topi mnoge kondicije ili stanja. I u knjizi on daje primjere gdje ljudi govore i opisuju u stvari konkretno primjere rada sa ljudima.
Da, to je stvarno, puteva do vrha brda ima jako puno, bitno je doći na taj vrh. Ali evo, zahvalnost je očito jedan univerzalni put i to je jako, jako, jako lijepo. Znači, zahvalnost i ta ljubav prema sebi. Jako je lijepo što David dolazi i što se to sve skupa, evo ga, proširiti ovdje i što to rade i Evica i Borut i još grupa koja je. Sad je malo konkretno, vi puno govorite o krugovima disanja. Pa evo, možete objasniti što su to krugovi disanja za one koji će naići negdje na krug disanja, a ne znaju što to je.
Yes, Carmen wants to explain a little bit about breathing circles. She said we are talking about circles, so to explain to people who come up to such a text or invitation to know a little bit more what it is.
Yeah, the circles, you know, depending on how many people, we have it, everybody introduces themselves. Of course, we'll have a little translation in there. They'll state an intention about what they're here, what they have come to the group to deal with, to get help on. I'll give some intuition and some feedback about that, what I sense or what I'm feeling. And then that's the first part, and then the most important part is when we actually move into the meditation, and that's at least the second half. And I have everybody lay down, and they do the breathing, the pranayama breath. And in doing that, there'll be a kind of a group energy. I'll play music. You won't just, the music will help carry you from not being so distracted. Maybe I'll even try to work in a little local music. And then that goes, the breathing portion will go for about, of the active breath will go for 30, maybe 45 minutes, and that's where the experience happens, where people start to feel their spirit coming into the body, when they start to release deep things. I may have the group say some things out loud to help them release. And so it's an experience. It's never the same, and it's not super easy to speak about intellectually. It's a spiritual experience. When it's done, people feel different. They might feel a little bit expanded. I always say, we're a little cosmically drunk on energy and love, and and some people experience a big transformation that they've been waiting for their whole life. It's something that happens consistently. It's not about me. It's about what the people are ready for. And I always say the universe holds the agenda for your healing. But after 25 years of doing this, and I don't know how many people I've worked with in groups and privately, something always goes on. So.
Da, David kaže da znači zavisi koliko je ljudi u krugu, da se prvo svi upoznaju, da se i prevodi, znači ako je potrebno. Svako kaže namjeru zašto su došli i što žele iscijeliti. I on na to daje neki odgovor, znači ono što mu intuicija kaže što osjeća, to je prvi dio. Drugi dio koji je, odnosno i najvažniji dio je meditacija, to je druga polovica rada, je disanje, pranayama disanje. Tu se razvija grupna energija, on pušta muziku. Muzika nam pomaže da ne budemo tako ometeni, znači da nas ništa ne odvodi od disanja. Rekao je da bi mogao poraditi na lokalnoj muzici, znači nacionalna. Diše se 30 do 45 minuta i onda se počinju dešavati iskustva. Ljudi osjećaju da im duh ulazi u tijelo, oslobađaju duboke stvari. Kaže da je teško govoriti o tome intelektualno jer je to spiritualno, duhovno iskustvo. On im također može govoriti neke riječi da ponavljaju, da lakše oslobode to što je u njima zatvoreno. Kada sve to završi, ljudi se osjećaju nekako kao da su se proširili, osjećaju se kozmički, ljubav, energiju, često osjete veliku promjenu u životu. I on kaže da svemir u stvari drži agendu za iscjeljivanje. I kaže da je puno toga iskusio i da u svakom slučaju dolazi do velikih promjena.
Da, to su stvarno fantastične stvari. David, I would ask you something. What do you think about letting go?
everybody has something they need to let go of, or can you know, I believe no matter how evolved we are, there's something we're here working on, and generally that energy, you know, there's a huge relief when we let it go, if it's some pain, if it's some illusion, so that we can, you know, move into a place of more peace and love and more contentment. So for me, letting go is something I witness a lot of. In the groups, there's usually a lot of letting go, a lot of emotional and, you know, energy that gets let go of.
Pa, znači, gotovo svako od nas ima nešto što treba otpustiti i bez obzira koliko smo mi napredovali, uvijek ima nešto na čemu radimo. I veliko olakšanje se osjeća kada otpustimo. I kada odemo, onda pomaknemo se u mjesto mira, ljubavi. I kaže da je svjedočio o grupama gdje su ljudi otpuštali stvari, gdje su na veliko otpuštali stvari.
Mi smo pri kraju sa emisijom, to uvijek tako brzo prođe, ali dobro, ovo je tek 4. put da smo zajedno, bit će toga još. Evo sada jedno pitanje koje mene isto tako zanima, to je sljedeće. David, svojevremeno, mislim da tu priču znate, je imao drugačije planove u životu, želio je postati glumac, međutim njemu je Bog, svemir, kogod namijenio mu je potpuno drugačiju ulogu i on je trebao postati iscijelitelj. On se tome jako opirao, međutim, evo ga, tu je i fantastičan je u tome. Znači, to da bude iscijelitelj je njegova svrha. Ok, moje pitanje je, u kojim situacijama, i da li možda svima, da mi toga nismo svjesni, kada nas Bog ili svemir, kako god, natjera kao i njega da doživimo svoju svrhu, a kad jednostavno totalno promašimo i zašto se to uopće događa? Ako mi je nešto svrha, zašto onda na nekakav, bilo kakav način nisam prisiljena doći do te svrhe, naći tu svrhu? Ili možda živim svoju svrhu, a da zapravo toga nisam svjesna, jer mislim da bi svrha trebala biti nešto na nivou čovječanstva, a možda je svrha da budem, ne znam, da sjedim doma i evo ga, pričam ovako sa vama. Dakle, to me zanima. On je bio natjeran da proživi svoju svrhu, da je stvarno odradi, a neko drugi zapravo je traži, možda i nikad ne nađe. Ne znam da li sam bila jasna, nije lako prevoditeljima, ali... Nije lako prevoditeljima.
Da, malo puno. So Carmen want to know about life purpose. She said that you had another plans in your life, that you wanted to become an actor, and but the God or universe had directed you to your purpose, and at the beginning you were reluctant, and she wanted to know about the purpose. In which situations, when God or universe pushes us to live our purpose, and sometimes we miss our purpose. Sometimes we don't find our purpose. So she wants to know, maybe we live our purpose in some situations, but we are not aware. And she wants to know, how can we miss our purpose? If we are destined to have some purpose, how can we miss it? And she was thinking that the purpose has to be something at the level of humanity, humankind, or her purpose might be just to sit and talk with people like here?
Well, that was a long question. Yeah, you know, the way I've experienced, say, moving into the healing work from acting, let's put it this way, I grew up on a farm and I knew I wasn't going to be a farmer. So I went on about life, kind of trying to find my way, and my relatives took me to California and they thought I would do well out there. And it was true. I met a lot more like-minded people. I found that acting for me was a spiritual experience. It helped me learn about myself and taught me a lot about energy and expression. But it wasn't the full purpose. It was, you know, part of it. And then when the healing work came in, and ultimately the healing work and then writing about it, that gave me the chance to really express myself, to help people. And through helping people, that humanity aspect is something that I find that most humans are most happy when we're helping other people. Sometimes when I even have friends or people who may not quite be on purpose, they may be living with this idea that, say, their parents instilled in them that they needed to be a doctor to have a great profession or to make a lot of money or be a lawyer because they would have a good income, but it wasn't necessarily the right fit for them. So even though they maybe made a lot of money, that where they find the most happiness is when they start to use their profession or even move away from their profession to something that's a better fit. And the universe is pretty relentless in nudging us back on the right track. So, you know, I do feel like that when a person's on purpose, things tend to flow easier and they can be maybe a little bit healthier and a little happier, or sometimes a lot happier when a person's not on purpose and they're doing something because they feel like that's the only thing they can do to survive. It's not as, you know, not as pleasant. So.
Kaže što se tiče njega, znači njegov pomak od glumca do iscijelitelja je bio takav, on je u stvari odrastao na farmi i nije mu bilo suđeno, znači nije htio biti farmer i njegovi rođaci su ga zvali da dođe živjeti u Kaliforniju i smatrali su da će to biti dobro za njega, što se i pokazalo da je, jer je tamo sreo puno sličnih ljudi i gluma je za njega također bilo duhovno iskustvo, naučilo ga je puno o sebi, ali je to nije bila potpuna svrha, to je bila djelomična svrha i kaže da mu je puno pisanje, što se tiče iscijeliteljskog rada, puno mu je pisanje pomoglo u tome, dalo da izrazi sebe i pomogne ljudima. I da je taj ljudski aspekt bitan i da je većina ljudi sretna kada može pomoći, odnosno kada pomaže drugim ljudima. Kaže da su neki ljudi recimo postali doktori, pravnici iz razloga zato što su to bili njihovi roditelji ili zato što se recimo može zaraditi puno novaca radeći taj posao. Ali za neke to nije bio pravi put, odnosno nije bila njihova svrha. I kaže kad oni počnu koristiti svoju profesiju, znači na način, na neki drugi način koji je bliži njihovoj svrsi, ili kada odu čak od te profesije počnu raditi nešto drugo. I kaže da nas svemir u stvari uvijek vraća na taj put, na našu svrhu. I da ljudi koji su bliže, koji žive bliže svoje svrsi, da su sretniji, nekad puno sretniji, a kad ne žive u skladu sa svrhom, da uglavnom su nezadovoljni.
Odlično, odlično, hvala vam lijepa, shvatili smo. Pa evo ga, već smo na kraju emisije. Evica je napisala, znači, bit će sada i krug disanja u subotu u Zagrebu. Biće jako lijepo, znate, kad se polako to proširi, bit će onda i u drugim gradovima. Evo, ja se nadam, znam da neki Splićani idu na seminar, da se to donese u Split, pa će se polako širiti dalje, doći će do Beograda i svugdje. I to je jedna od ljepota ovog umreživanja interneta i tehnologije koja nam je dostupna. Evo, ja sam samo sad, neki su pitali, htjeli bi napraviti jednu meditaciju disanjem. Evice pita i Davida da li on ima volje, ali kratku jednu, jer smo već ušli malo u drugo vrijeme, znači samo jednu kratku, ako može, par minuta disanja, za ove koji su jako vrijedni sada, ali ne žele disati samostalno. Znam vas bilo, ako bilo ko, šalim se, ako bilo ko od vas želi, ja imam snimljenu meditaciju disanja, vođenu od Davida, javite mi se na mail, ja ću vam poslati snimke, jako je lako pratiti na taj način disanja. Evo ga, ako David ima volju, ako ne, čovjek putuje danas ne znam koliko stotina kilometara, pakirao se u pauzu, tako nećemo ga zadržavati previše.
Yes, David Carmen asks, are you willing now to lead some short meditation, short breathing meditation? For the people who doesn't want to work alone and willing to do the breathing. She said she knows you are tired today, you had a big trip, so if you are willing for a short meditation.
Sure. Yeah, it's like a little tiny, hors d'oeuvre, because we're just working with people in their own environment. But absolutely, we can do, about a 7-8 minute sample where even for the people who think about everything, even when you're breathing, if you can let go of the mind, you'll start to experience your spirit moving through you as energy, which will start to be a tingly vibration. So I suspect we can do that. I'm not that tired. My trip is ahead of me, so I'll be fine. So yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Da, David,
yeah.
7-8 minuta meditaciju, da će ljudi moći osjetiti, znači, duh kako ulazi kroz tijelo, energiju, osjetiti će trnce u rukama ili možda po cijelom tijelu i da nije toliko umoran, da možemo na meditaciju.
Okay. So the breathing, maybe if, I don't know if people are on their computer, they can see me. So the breathing is kind of, the first breath is down in the low belly, and the second one's up in the high chest, and it's kind of like in through the mouth. And so it's and if people just start doing that breathing through the mouth as opposed to the nose, about the 4th or 5th breath, you'll start to feel oxygen moving. You're not going to hyperventilate. You just continue to breathe, and that's the active meditation. So if you're ready, we'll go ahead and start. I don't know, Evitsa, if you need to give them that direction, but I think people probably are okay. So I'll just breathe a little bit, and maybe we put it on Borit, and he can breathe for everybody, leading them. So just start. If you need to breathe a little slower, it's okay. Go ahead and close the eyes and focus inside. Relaxing the body. Letting the heart open. If you can imagine connecting into the Mother Earth, grounding, continuing to breathe. Just letting go. And just stay with the breath. If you feel a little serious, you can laugh. You can just let out a laugh. Make a little sound. If you feel really stuck emotionally, you can cover your mouth with a pillow and let out a big scream or yell, like, ah! And then go back to the breath. So if you have a lot of deep, stuck emotion, by yelling, it starts to come up and move through the heart, and it starts to clear. So just keep breathing after you yell or laugh. So some of you should be starting to feel energy vibrating, moving, tingling in your face, hands. That means the heart's starting to open. Just let it keep opening. Continue to breathe for a couple more minutes. If you find yourself really stuck with pain in the body, you can take the hands and place them on that place. If it's the heart, if it's the stomach, if it's the chest, and then just keep breathing, letting energy move into that area. Probably one more laugh. Just laughing, silly, doesn't have to be real. Keep breathing, feeling yourself expanding, letting in the light from the universe, grounding it to the earth. You can ask the Mother Earth to help you. You can ask your ancestors and guides to help you. If there's anyone you need to forgive, you can send them forgiveness, including yourself. If there's sadness that you feel, just keep letting it come up, letting it come out the throat, and letting it release to the heavens, to the earth. A little bit more breath, a couple more minutes, and then we'll stop. So just keep going. Some of you are just starting to tingle, meaning your brain is starting to let go. So a little bit more breath. So the breath can be work, And the work is to get the brain to stop. And as the brain stops, then the brain gets a little drunk with oxygen and doesn't need to think. So you just keep breathing for one more minute. And if you want now, you can just inhale through the nose. Relax. Just recharge, relax. You can just imagine, you can place your hands over your heart for a moment and just feel your heart, feel love for yourself. Let yourself know that you can heal your body, that you can heal your emotions, that you can heal your mind, your thoughts, that you can heal yourself to receive your spirit. And so as you come back again, just nice and slow, you can stay. We're not watching you, so you can stay inside, relaxed right there in your living room or bedroom and soak it up. Hopefully it was as good for you as it was for me. I'm tingling all over. So.
Evo ga, David kaže da možete i dalje ostati u tom položaju u kojem jeste, možete nastaviti disati, možete se malo opuštati sada i kaže da se nada da ste i vi uživali jednako kao što je uživao i on. I evo ga, za kraj, pitanje koje ja prvo želim znati, a onda i dosta naših gledatelja, kada nam David dolazi ponovo? David, I want to thank you of course for everything. And one question that I want to know, and a lot of us want to know too, when will you come again to Croatia?
Hopefully many times, but let me get this one under my belt and see how many great people I meet and taste the cuisine and experience what I hear is the beautiful countryside. Who knows? You may not be able to run me away. Maybe I'll just come over and stay. So my intention would be to come back again later in the year. So were you?
Kaže David da je čuo naravno jako puno lijepoga u našim zemljama ovdje i da planira odraditi sada ovaj prvi dio, ali da bi se vratio ponovo negdje tamo u drugom dijelu godine. Pa evo, možemo odmah baciti bubicu u uho, ne moram doći samo u Zagreb, može doći u, ne znam, Beograd, Sarajevo, već gdje god vas bude bilo zainteresirani, imamo dovoljno vremena da se pripremimo, ali umeđu vremenu ćemo se još vidjeti sa Davidom. Evo ga, društvo moje, ja vam želim svima lijepu i ugodnu večer, hvala vam što ste bili s nama. Idući put tema će nam biti Ho'oponopono, smislit ćemo nešto pametno o čemu ćemo pričati. Do onda čistite, ali isto tako evo ga i dišite. Opet kažem svima kome treba poslati meditaciju disanjem, samo mi se javite, možete na Facebook, nije problem, mi poslati u inbox vaše email adrese, ja ću vam kad uhvati malo kasnije vremena poslati meditacije. Puno hvala Evice tebi, puno hvala Boruse tebi, ne samo na ovoj emisiji, nego i na svemu zapravo što radite da biste približili Davidov rad i doveli ga ovdje. I naravno hvala našoj Nori koja strpljivo srijedu za srijedom bude ovako s nama i uživa u svim avanturama koje imamo tijekom emisije koja se prigodno zove Najlakši način. Još jedan put laka vam noć, ugodna vam noć i vidimo se iduću srijedu. David, thank you very, very, very much. Have a nice trip. Ciao.